All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to be looking at some time attack games on Steam.
Yeah.
You sent over a list
Yeah.
of 5 games that you're kind of curious about.
Yep.
We got Rifter, Panzer Ball, Minesweeper Classy, Borrow Racing, and Slacker's Carts of Glory.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it does, right?
Yeah.
So a pretty good variety there.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how the time attack element, kind of manifests itself across these different genres.
It's like that same mechanic, right?
Yeah, it could be.
In totally different settings.
Yeah.
How'd that even work? So first up is Rifter, and this is the one that's been getting some pretty good reviews.
It's got a lot of buzz.
Yeah, people are comparing it to Celeste and Hollow Knight.
Yeah, that's like
And that's high praise, right?
very high praise.
Yeah, so it's a 2D platformer, very fast-paced, challenging, grappling hooks, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and I think it really speaks to the popularity of, speed running these days and how a game like this can really tap into that culture.
The speedrunning thing is huge, EE.
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, you've got people dedicating their lives to shaving off milliseconds from their best times.
It's incredible.
Yeah, and the grappling hook in this game, that just adds a whole other layer of complexity to that.
I bet.
People are doing some crazy stuff with it. Plus, the music is supposed to be fantastic. It's all that 80s synthwave stuff.
Ah, nice.
Really gets you pumped up.
Yeah. And it's not just speed, right?
No.
It's skill trees.
Yeah, which is kind of unusual for a platformer.
Yeah, for sure.
But it makes sense. I mean, it gives you more options for customizing your playstyle, right?
Yeah.
And it adds a layer of depth that you don't always see in these kinds of games.
Accidentally.
So it's not just about going fast, it's about mastering the mechanics and really understanding the game.
Yeah, you have the strategy too.
Exactly. And there are even optional challenges like no grappling hook runs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so if you really want to test yourself.
I mean, why even play the game at that point?
Well, some people, they thrive on that challenge, right? They want to prove they can do it.
A whole other level.
It is. I read one review where the guy actually refunded the game
Right.
because the online leaderboards were down.
Seriously?
Yeah, he was that committed to competing,
That's wild. But that brings up a good point, though, right? Like, that community aspect is huge for these kinds of games.
It's essential. I mean, for a lot of players, it's not just about beating the game. It's about proving they're the best.
Right.
Sharing their times, comparing strategies, all that stuff. The leaderboards, the forums, it all adds to the experience.
Okay, so we've got Rifter, which is like that high-skill platformer with a speedrunning element.
Yeah.
Next up is Panzer Ball.
This one's a trip.
And this is all about speed, right?
Oh, yeah. Speed and momentum are key here.
Okay, so break it down for me. What is it?
Okay. Imagine a 3D platformer where you're controlling a ball, but instead of just jumping and running, you're using these kind of intricate movements to build up speed and bounce through the courses.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, and it's inspired by those surf and bunny hop game modes you see in first-person shooters.
Oh, right. Like you're kind of exploiting the physics to move in ways that you're not really supposed to.
Exactly.
Okay, so there's skill involved, but also kind of a janky, chaotic element to it.
Oh, definitely. You need to be really precise with your movements, but you're also kind of at the mercy of the physics engine. One little bump can send you flying off course.
I love that.
And it's super satisfying when you nail a tricky maneuver and just rock it through the level.
Oh, I bet. So is it single player or can you play with friends?
Both, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you can play solo or with friends in real-time multiplayer.
Okay, so that's got to be nuts.
Oh, it is. One reviewer said the best way to get your friends to play is to just yell, "Let's play Panzer Ball" at them on Discord.
That's amazing.
It's become like a meme in the community.
I love it. It sounds like a game that can really bring people together.
Yeah, or tear them apart depending on how competitive things get. Because it's definitely a game with a high skill ceiling. There's a lot to master, and it can be pretty frustrating at times.
Right, so you got to be in the right mindset going in, I guess.
Yeah, you got to be prepared to rage quit a few times.
Fair enough.
But when you finally nail it, it's super rewarding.
Okay, so Panzer Ball, definitely one for the speed demons out there.
Sure.
But now let's switch gears completely
Okay.
to Minesweeper. Classy.
Classic.
You heard that right, Minesweeper.
Yeah, it's crazy how this game has stood the test of time.
I know, right? I feel like everyone has played Minesweeper at some point in their lives.
Absolutely. And what I love about this version is that it takes that classic formula and just polishes it up a bit.
It was a fresh coat of paint.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
It's got these really sleek visuals, and customizable color palettes.
Whew, no.
You can even play in dark mode.
That's crucial.
Yeah, I gotta protect those eyes.
So it's like the Minesweeper, and Love, but with a modern makeover.
Exactly, exactly. And it still has that classic gameplay, but it also adds some new twists, with unique level layouts and challenges.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it's really well made. I mean, even the music is super relaxing. It's like they've thought of everything.
It sounds like the perfect way to unwind after a long day of playing Panzer Ball.
Absolutely. Or, if you're looking for a more chill time attack experience,
Right.
because it's got that too,
Of course.
you can race against the clock to solve the puzzles as fast as you can.
It's like that feeling of, oh no, I'm down to the last few squares, but amplified.
Exactly. And it really makes you think strategically.
So it's not just random clicking anymore.
Not if you want to get a good time.
I see, I see. So you really have to be on your game.
Oh, yeah. You gotta analyze the board, calculate your moves, and use those hints strategically.
So there's like a metagame almost to it.
There is, there is.
I like that. And then there's also the level editor, which is always a fun addition.
Always a good time.
You can make your own crazy challenges.
Yeah, and people are getting really creative with it.
I bet. What kind of stuff are they making?
Well, there's the standard stuff, like super difficult puzzles and weird layouts, but some people are using it to draw, well, let's just say interesting shapes.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's the internet. What can you do?
Okay, so we've got our speedrunning platformer, our physics-based ball game, and now our classic puzzle game with a modern twist.
A nice variety so far.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, are you ready for some racing?
Always. Hit me with it.
Okay, next up is Borrow Racing.
Daro racing, okay. What's the deal with this one?
This one is described as a toy cargo cart style racing game.
Okay, so more on the arcadey side.
Definitely, yeah. It's not trying to be a hardcore sim or anything.
Right.
So the reviews are really interesting.
What are people saying?
Well, a lot of people are praising the physics of all things.
The physics
Mm,
for a toy car racing game.
I know, right? But they're comparing it to games like Forza and Assetto Corsa. Yeah, and obviously they're being a bit tongue-in-cheek about it,
I hope so.
But it seems like they've actually put a lot of effort into making the driving feel good, even if it's not realistic.
Okay, I can dig that.
And there's tons of content. They've got different game modes like races, time trials, and even a battle mode.
Oh, cool. A battle mode?
Yeah, where you can use power-ups to take out your opponents.
Okay, so they're really leaning into that arcadey vibe.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I like that. It sounds like a fun, casual racing game that you can just pick up and play.
Exactly. And it's also got a ton of DLC packs, which is kind of surprising for a budget-priced game.
DLC. What kind of DLC are we talking about?
Well, they've got packs that add new cars, tracks, and even game modes.
Okay, so they're really supporting the game post-launch.
Yeah, which is always a good sign.
Definitely. So you've got your classic cars, your sports cars, your monster trucks.
Yep, they've got a little bit of everything, even a rally pack.
A rally pack.
Yeah, so you can race on dirt tracks and all that.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, it's pretty diverse for a game like this, and they also have some really easy achievements.
Oh, so it's one of those games.
Yeah, if you're into achievement hunting, this one's a good choice.
Okay, so they're appealing to the completionists out there.
For sure, and it also has trading cards.
Oh, right, the Steam trading cards.
Yeah, so you can collect those and craft badges and all that stuff.
You gotta be honest, I've never really understood the appeal of those.
It's not for everyone, but some people love it.
Fair enough. So, we've got our racing game. What else is on the list?
Well, last but not least, we have Slackers Carts of Glory.
Slackers, all right. This one sounds intriguing.
This one is all about downhill racing and shopping carts.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, you heard that right.
Like those metal shopping carts you see at the grocery store?
The very same.
I'm already sold. Tell me more.
Okay, so the premise is pretty simple. You're out of beer.
Relatable.
The store is closing, and the only way to get there in time is to race down a hill in a shopping cart.
Okay, so far so good.
And it's not just any hill. This is a hill with jumps, ramps, obstacles, the whole 9 yards.
Oh man, that's gotta be chaotic.
It is. And the controls are intentionally kind of janky.
So it's not like a super realistic driving sim.
Not at all. It's more about embracing the chaos and just trying to stay upright.
I can get behind that.
Yeah, it's one of those games where the most fun comes from those unexpected moments, like when you accidentally launch yourself off a ramp and land on top of a moving car.
Okay, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, and the reviews are full of stories like
I
that.
bet. So it's not just about being fast, it's about surviving the mayhem.
Exactly. And there are 16 unique tracks to master.
16 tracks. Wow, that's more than I expected.
Yeah, they really put a lot of effort into this game, and there's even a little bit of strategy involved because you have to collect drinks along the way to refill your stamina.
So you can't just go full throttle all the time.
Nope, you got to be smart about it.
I dig it. So we've got our speedrunning platformer, our physics-based ball game, our classic puzzle game with a modern twist, our arcadey racing game, and now our downhill shopping cart mayhem simulator.
Quite the lineup.
Yeah, we've got a good variety here. So those are the 4 games we'll be diving into today.
Can't wait to see what you think of them.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is going to be fun. But first, we got to take a quick break.
Right.
We'll be right back.
It's kind of wild how you can take a game like Minesweeper that's always been, pretty chill and relaxed
Yeah.
and turn it into this like heart-pounding race against the clock just by adding a timer.
It's true. Like, Minesweeper always had that kind of tension, right?
Yeah.
When you're down to the last few squares.
Oh, yeah.
But then when you add a timer,
Uh-huh.
it's like every click matters.
It becomes a whole different game.
It really does.
Yeah, suddenly you're not just thinking about logic and patterns.
Right.
You're also thinking about speed and efficiency.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how that one small change can completely change the way you approach the game.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
And what I like about Minesweeper Classy is that it gives you the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
You can still play that classic relaxed Minesweeper if you want to.
Right. If you just want to chill out, unwind.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's got you cupped.
But if you want to like really test your skills and push yourself to the limit,
Yeah.
they've got these like hardcore time attack challenges.
Oh, yeah. They can get pretty intense.
I bet. So it's really catering to a wide range of players.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that makes this game so great.
For sure. For sure. And they didn't just stop at adding a timer, right?
No. They've added a bunch of other cool features, too.
Like what?
Well, for one thing, they've got hints.
Hints.
Yeah, which are super helpful when you're stuck.
Especially when you're on the clock.
Oh, absolutely.
Like every second counts.
Yeah, so those hints can be a real lifesaver.
I can see that.
And it's not just about using them randomly either.
Right. You got to be strategic.
Exactly. You got to analyze the board, figure out where the most likely spots for mines are.
And then use your hints to confirm your suspicions.
Exactly.
I love that.
It adds a whole other layer of depth to the game.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, there's the level editor, which is always a good time.
Yeah, that's a staple of any good Minesweeper game.
I mean, who doesn't love creating their own deviously difficult puzzles?
Right, and then sharing them with the world to torture your friends.
Yeah.
It's all part of the fun.
I love it. Okay, so we've talked about Minesweeper Classy.
Yeah.
Now I'm ready to dive into some shopping cart mayhem.
All right, let's talk about Slacker's Carts of Glory.
This game just sounds like pure fun.
It is.
Like, the premise alone is hilarious.
Oh, yeah, it's so ridiculous.
You're out of beer, the store's closing.
And you got to race down a hill in a shopping cart to get there in time.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's like something out of a cartoon.
And what's great is that the gameplay actually lives up to that premise.
Yeah.
It's chaotic, it's unpredictable, it's just plain fun.
And the physics are great.
Yeah, they're intentionally wonky, right?
Oh, yeah, the carts are super wobbly and hard to control.
And that's what makes it so fun.
Exactly. It's not about being perfect. It's about embracing the chaos.
It's those moments when you're like, I have no idea how I just did that, but it was awesome.
Yeah, like when you accidentally launch yourself off a ramp and do a 360 spin in the air.
And somehow manage to land back on your wheels and keep going.
Exactly. Those are the moments that make this game so memorable.
And I bet there are tons of those moments.
Oh, yeah. Every playthrough is different.
I love that. It's not just a game, it's an experience.
Right.
And it sounds like a kind of game that's even more fun with friends.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, can you imagine the trash talk that would be going on?
Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
All right, so we've covered Minesweeper Classy and Slackers.
Two very different takes on the time attack concept.
Yeah, but both equally entertaining.
For sure.
So what are your overall thoughts on these two games?
I think they both show how creative developers can be when it comes to implementing time attack mechanics.
Yeah.
You know, Minesweeper Classy proves that even the most traditional puzzle games can benefit from the added tension of a timer.
Right.
While Slackers shows that you can embrace chaos and still have a really engaging and rewarding time attack experience.
And they both make you think strategically, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Even though they're very different genres.
Yeah, they both require you to make quick decisions under pressure.
Which is a great skill to have, both in games and in life.
I agree.
So we've seen how time attack works in platformers, puzzle games, and racing games.
Yeah.
But what about other genres?
What do you mean?
Like, what untapped potential do you see for time attack in the gaming world?
That's a good question. I mean, You could have a time attack mode in an RPG where you have to complete a certain number of quests within a time limit,
Oh, that's a cool idea.
or a time attack fighting game where the rounds are super short and you have to be really aggressive.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of room for experimentation.
Definitely. And as developers get more creative, I
Yeah.
think we're going to see even more interesting and unexpected applications of the time attack mechanic.
I'm excited to see what they come up with.
Me too.
Oh,
All right, so we've talked about a lot today, 5 very different time attack games.
yeah.
But before we wrap things up,
Uh-huh.
I want to hear your final thoughts on these games.
Okay.
Like, what makes them stand out?
Yeah.
What would you say to someone who's on the fence about trying them?
I think for anyone who loves a good challenge and wants to test their skills, Rifter is a must-play. It's got that perfect blend of tight controls, beautiful visuals, and a soundtrack that'll get your heart racing. Those 80s synthwave vibes, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It really sets the mood. And the grappling hook,
And
man.
that's the thing that stands out to me the most.
It adds so much depth to the movement. You
Yeah.
can pull off some crazy
The
maneuvers.
skill ceiling is so high.
Oh, yeah. You can spend hours just perfecting your runs, trying to shave off those milliseconds.
I love that.
And then for something completely different, we have Panzer Ball.
Which is just bonkers
Yeah.
in the best way possible.
It's so unique. I mean, who would have thought that rolling a ball through a bunch of obstacles could be so addictive?
It's those physics, man.
They're so satisfying to master. You're constantly exploiting the game's mechanics to gain speed and momentum.
Yeah.
And the multiplayer aspect is just pure chaos.
Oh, I bet. That's got to be a blast with friends.
And then we have Minesweeper Classy.
Which proves that you can teach an old dog new tricks.
Exactly. I mean, Minesweeper's a classic for a reason, right?
Yeah.
But this game takes it to a whole new level with the time attack mode, the beautiful visuals, and the level editor.
Yeah, the level editor is a game changer.
It's like they took everything great about Minesweeper and just made it even better.
And more stressful.
Maybe a little, yeah. But in a good way.
Right. That's what we're here for.
And then, of course, we have our 2 racing games.
The dynamic duo of Borrow Racing and Slackers.
These games just show that time attack can be fun and accessible for everyone.
Yeah, they're not super serious.
Not at all. They're just pure, unadulterated fun.
Borrow Racing,
Yeah.
with its over-the-top physics.
And its endless supply of DLC.
Yeah, you can race anything in that game.
And Slackers, well, it's just a stroke of genius.
It really is. Racing shopping carts down a hill.
What's not to love?
And they both have that nostalgic arcade racing feel.
Absolutely. They're perfect for those quick gaming sessions when you just want to unwind and have some laughs.
What's cool about all of these games is that they tap into different player motivations. You know,
Yeah, totally. Some people are drawn to the challenge, the competition.
a need for speed.
Exactly. Others are just looking for a fun and engaging way to pass the time.
Right.
And I think that's what makes the time attack genre so special.
It's got something for everyone.
And I think we're only going to see more and more innovation in this space as time goes on.
Agreed. It's a really exciting time for time attack games.
Absolutely. So if you're looking for a game that'll test your skills
Push you to your limits.
and keep you coming back for more,
Then you need to check out these 5 amazing time attack games.
they're all available on Steam.
Go check them out. And be sure to let us know what you think.
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, hit us up on social media.
And let us know what other time attack games we should check out.
We're always looking for new recommendations.
Thanks for tuning in.
Until next time, happy gaming.